It's UPBOptionMillionaires.com on this Thursday, August 13, 2015. S&P 500 futures up 1/3%. My goodness, did not look like it was going to happen yesterday mid-session. Looked like we were going to crash, but I was bringing it up in the chat room at OptionMillionaires.com. The fact that we did not surpass the Greek lows, yes, the Grebola of a couple months ago that ultimately led to new all-time record highs. We got a pullback here. We got some consolidation if you want to look back to a similar type pullback back in December of 2014. Couple pullbacks, and then ultimately here we are up to record highs. We'll see if we get a kind of move that will send us there. And again, we did not break the Greek lows, and we moved above support levels. You know, everybody's talking about the devaluation in China going on, but look at the U.S. dollar index. It's up a little bit today, but it's been down significantly this week. Also down from its triple-digit move earlier this year. You know, a lot of earnings coming out this earnings season talking about the strengthening U.S. dollar, but it's nice to see it pull back a little bit here. Also pulling back, this is 30-year bond treasuries down 0.5%, looking to move to the downside. It's been a strong rally since the start of July, but nothing like what we saw at the start of the year. Looking for a pullback continuation there. Now let's look at gold. Gold, very hot here as the U.S. dollar has been devalued the last couple days. You don't hear that. Huh? You're talking all about the China devaluation. But a nice bounce here in gold as everyone became bearish here. They weren't bearish up here to start the year, but no, when we started to get really down here, gold became the worst investment. And at that time, when everybody was so bearish, we got a nice little bounce here. And when everybody gets off the gold bear bandwagon and onto the gold bull bandwagon, we'll probably continue down and hit new fresh lows, multi-year lows since the financial crisis. Something to keep an eye on. Also some charts to look at today. GMCR, I'm in the calls for a bounce. You can see the support line goes all the way back to 2011. The last time it hit it back in 2013 had a sharp rally to the upside. So I'm looking for a reversal. Earnings report sent it down significantly here. Hanging at support, GMCR is something to watch. Look at the bond market. I've been talking about this for a while. Again, I was just talking about the 30-year Treasury ETF. Came up to support here, the 20-year bond Treasury fund. And you can look, we came up to resistance here. We bounced off support. I'm looking for a move back to the 122.50 level this week. Let's look at some other stocks here. How about Twitter? Twitter came down, broke below long-term trendline support on its earnings report, and you can see it's starting to bounce here a little bit. See if it gets back over to $30 level. Also, with gold bouncing, we've got GDX. Look at this candle here on a weekly basis. The first real nice candle to the upside we've seen since really the start of 2015. Is this a low for GDX and the gold miners? At least in the short term, yeah. And I'm looking for a move up to about 18 or 19, but I'm not in any GDX, gold miners, or gold stocks just yet. A couple other stocks to watch here. Look at Apple. Been so volatile the last couple weeks as the markets kind of digested some of the news over in China. Say, hey, growth is slowing there, and China's a big market for Apple. You can see the move of that off the lows yesterday. I talked about this in my update the day before. I said, hey, a washout would be a great time to get into the dip. And here we're up over the 116 level here pre-market. We'll see if we can continue up. It was a strong day on Monday, so we've had a gap up on Monday, gap down on Tuesday, continuation on Wednesday, and a sharp reversal. We're going to get back up to that 120 level. That would be a key level that would probably send the stock back up into the mid-20s next week, so something to keep an eye on with Apple. How about Netflix? Netflix beaten down under the 120 level, but look at this consolidation here. You can see it really since the start of August. We had to move up. Consolidation, nice flagging pattern here. Are we going to break to the upside, new all-time record highs? We'll see. Yesterday actually kind of lagged a little bit. You see down to over almost 2% for Netflix. This morning gapping up a little bit, but certainly something to keep an eye on when you see the market strong or rallying, getting back into positive territory, and some of the stocks that are lagging. There's a reason for it. We'll see if we get maybe a continuation of that weakness today, or if this flag breaks to the upside, we could be on the cusp of new all-time record highs for Netflix. Just a couple other stocks here to watch. We have Baidu. Some of the Chinese ADRs just taking it on the chin yesterday. You can see on its earnings report broke through long-term trendline support. When you go back from a longer-term perspective, certainly looks very bearish. Support being at the 140 level, but it's been a significant move to the downside. So at least a short-term bounce could be in the cards here for Baidu, and also Wynn Resorts Goldman Sachs had their list of 20 companies to sell because of the weakness in China. But look at support. Briefly broke below it yesterday for Wynn Resorts. Looking for this consolidation. Is it going to head lower? At least a short-term bounce could be in the cards again. Break over $100. And we'll see. I think the bottom is in, but, I'm not the perfect trader here, and I've been wrong before. All right, UPB here, OptionMillionaires.com. Stop by the chat room. It's just been a tremendous couple of weeks here as volatility has come back to the marketplace. One thing that really hasn't, I joked around a little bit. I'll close it out with this. But the VIX, it's look at that beat down. And I joked yesterday, it's almost like that kid in high school who got the wedgie and was dangling from a locker, because every time it spikes, it just gets beaten down even more. And, I could easily see this going back to 12 before we see the next bounce. And again, I talked about this in my update earlier this week. That 12 level has just been a springboard for higher prices. Ultimately, we're going to break below it. The more times we test that level, the more likely the chances we're going to pull back. All right, UPB, OptionMillionaires.com. We'll see you in the chat room. Everyone have a great trading session. Goodbye.